Hi, my name is Taylor Bailey, and I'm the Associate Creative Director of Play on Shakespeare. When I was in college, I was an actor, and my mom would come to see me in plays, but she was always very reluctant to come and see me anytime we were doing Shakespeare. She told me that it was because she felt dumb when she sat in the audience, and the people around her seemed to understand things that she couldn't. I think this is a pretty common experience for people. When Shakespeare is translated into languages other than English, it's translated into the contemporary versions of those languages. So Hamlet, for instance, when it's translated to French, isn't translated into 1600s French. It's translated into contemporary, today French. That was the idea behind a program called Play On that was at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. We commissioned 36 playwrights to translate works by Shakespeare. These types of things are out there already. You may be familiar with No Fear Shakespeare. There's a few others. We were after something that was more artistically driven, that wasn't just a study material. It was actually meant to be spoken out loud, that could be produced. So what we did with the commissioned artists is we asked them to approach the text with the same rigor of language that Shakespeare used while he was writing. So they're paying attention to rhyme and meter and all of the other important elements of language that Shakespeare was exploring and using in his texts. Theater's about getting to the heart, and Shakespeare wasn't just good at language, despite what some people say. He was also great at conveying stories, even if they weren't originally his own. He was really talented at structuring and plotting plays. These are stories about power, about consequence, about family, love, loss, and more importantly, about forgiveness. And they're so powerful, and they still resonate today. We want people who are dubious about Shakespeare to get to hear those stories and perhaps go back to Shakespeare after they've heard one of these translations. We are encouraging productions of these scripts. We are publishing these scripts so they'll be available for purchase. We're developing curriculum for classrooms to be able to utilize these texts and perhaps even create your own translations. And we're also going to be recording audiobooks so that people can listen to them perhaps before they go see a play in the original language. You might be someone who can hear the language and doesn't have a problem. And if that's the case, this may not be the project for you. But for many, many people who can't hear these stories, we believe that we're an excellent addition to the world of Shakespeare. We never are out to replace Shakespeare, but we think we're an excellent addition. We want to be one of the many solutions available for people to understand these texts. My mom got to see one of these productions of one of these translations, and she was so incredibly moved by the story. And she said, I can't believe that I can understand it so easily. And yet it was still so beautiful. It didn't feel patronizing. And I asked her, do you think you might be more willing to go see one of the original plays? And she said, yes, absolutely.